So as long as you have the holding power and you are in well-researched stocks, I don't see anything to worry. I think your capital is very well protected if you are actually going to be in equity.
Right, so that's the take coming in on what should our investors do to protect their wealth. And with that, actually, let me go ahead and kickstart with the query segment. It is the day 2 of Times Now Summit. So let me give a programming note for all of our viewers. It's the day 2 of Times Now Summit 2022. And remember, that is the one destination where you have all the top policy makers, right from the India Inc. as well as from the government officials as well. Yesterday, you did see Home Minister as well as the Commerce Minister and the IT Minister and the Oil Minister speak at that event, and we are braced for some more big guests on Times Now Summit. But before that, let's kickstart with the query segment then. And for all of those who've tuned in, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, as well as on Twitter. You can write to us about your queries there. Do mention the stock name that you're asking your query on. Mention the time horizon that you're looking to invest in a particular counter. If you've already invested, do mention your buy price and the quantity and the time horizon as well that you are asking your query on. And you can write to us on WhatsApp. The number is flashing on the top of your screen. So let's get going with the queries then. And the first one that I have is coming in from Manish Raju. And he's saying that he's looking to buy 1,000 shares of BEL, each for short and long term. Please suggest levels for the next 3 months and 1 year period. Kunal, so I believe he's looking to invest about approximately 2,000 shares is what he wants to buy, because if he's looking to hold it one set for the shorter term, one set for the longer term, good strategy to adopt for BEL. And also, what are your targets?
So I would suggest to add an edge to the stock. I think try and take even BHEL to your list. I think what you can ideally do is you can probably bifurcate maybe 1,000 shares of BEL and 1,000 shares of BHEL and hold on to both of these stocks from a long-term play. You don't need to play out for short-term bets, a few percentage points here or there into these kind of names, because both the stocks are inching towards or heading towards a bigger breakout, a bigger dimension or a higher dimension breakout for themselves, which is more clearly visible on the monthly charts for BEL and BHEL. So I would recommend that you can stick with BEL long-term wise, and if you want to look to add one more stock from a long-term category, I would suggest BHEL.
Okay, well, the next query is coming in from Karthik. He wants to know from you, Kunal, that he is holding Equitas, holding is the particular counter at an average price of 105. Is this a good time to book profits out here, or he should hold for some more time? And he's already wishing all of us happy weekend, but it's still some time for us now. But what's the take coming in on Equitas?
Yeah, I think you should look to hold on to the stock. Now, I'm not sure what's the time frame exactly which you're looking out for. But I think today is the day the stock, or rather last week, in fact this week, couple of days back, the stock has given a breakout about the 105 mark. Now today is the day where the stock has crossed the 110 levels as well. So ideally in this kind of a scenario, you should give it more time, possibly another 1 to 2 weeks. And if this breakout sustains for Equitas, then you may look out for targets of even 128 to 130, possibly in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and provided the market remains more stable like what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. So I think you should continue to hold on. Maybe keep a trailing stop loss which can be closer to your cost price.
Okay, the next query that's coming in from TP Vinod Kumar, and he wants to know about MapMy India, about 180 shares which he's purchased for 1,275 rupees per share. He wants a long-term view. He's directed this question to you, Kunal, but I'll take it to Ashish. Ashish, what's your take on MapMy India? Do you think this is a good counter to stay put with, given the fact it's a very niche category that this company actually operates in?
Well, I haven't really tracked lately, so I don't want to comment on something which I haven't looked at so carefully.
Charts, Kunal, would you be able to share your inputs on MapMy India? No doubt it's a recently listed counter. The data will be very less that you have to analyze.
But again, even the available data for MapMy India is not very exciting. The last 2 or 3 months, the stock had gone through a drag. In fact, this month, the month of November, that is, the stock has corrected from 1350 to now sub 1200 mark for itself. I think yesterday or day before, the stock made a low of 1150 or below 1150 mark, and today you're seeing a marginal bounce on the stock price. So again, not an interesting chart. I would suggest an avoid.
Okay, that's an avoid coming in on MapMy India. But with this, it's time to slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to take up more queries from you. Stay tuned.
Believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
we continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
Back, you're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we make sure to answer all of your stock related queries, and we hope that you are benefiting from the queries that our experts are answering for someone else as well. But let's get going with the next query, and this one is coming in for Naval Mehta, and he wants a long-term view on RCF. Ashish, what's your take on RCF? Off late, we've seen a furious sort of a rally coming in that fertilizer names. Where do you see RCF headed?
I think it has value in it, and I think the way the government companies are getting now re-rated, I'm quite positive on RCF and other such stocks. The company also has a very sizable land bank with it, and I think that the current price is very limited downside risk. And I think anyway, before the budget, usually the fertilizers and the kind of stocks rally, so there could be some more upside in the very near term. And I think otherwise also, I think the way the whole sector is getting re-rated, and I think we have good chances of making money here.
Coming in from Padma, and she wants to know a company where she can invest for the next 3 years. And sector-wise, she is looking to invest in manufacturing sector. But Ashish, in manufacturing too, there are a lot of options available. It's quite a broad question. If you can just zoom in and help her with some sector that you feel like, because we have seen autos, capital goods, all of these counters buzzing. What's your take on that?
Well, I think which can very safely bank on is capital goods, because I think the sector is getting traction after a very long time. And I think in this, of course, a lot of options, including L&T and including BHEL, depending on your risk appetite and profile. But I think the one safe stock which you can certainly go along with is Siemens. I think the current price gives you a very good entry point. The future looks pretty exciting, and I think given the kind of the execution skill and the kind of product range which Siemens has, I think in the next 2-3 years it should do very well from here. So you could safely buy Siemens, I think, for the 3-year perspective.
Right, this one is coming from Akash Mathur, and he has Tata Power at the price of 237 rupees per share. Kunal, he wants to know whether he should exit this holding and look to invest in BLS International or BHEL or Solar Industries, or any other counter if you can think of where he will get good gains in the next 6 months to 1 year. What's your take? You think it makes sense to exit Tata Power to some other names for good gains?
Well, if your time horizon is long term, then you can stay put on Tata Power. I think at 220 odd levels, Tata Power is also a good bet. But if you're looking to put in additional capital, then I would recommend, out of the list of stocks which you mentioned, I think BHEL could be a better bet. At 77, 78 levels, I think it's looking attractive from a more of a longer term kind of a view. The stock has given a breakout of a 10-year or 11-year downward sloping channel resistance for itself, and that's a strong signal that possibly the worst could be behind for the stock, and there could be strong trending or uptrending moves for the stock in the next 6 months, 1 year, or slightly higher term time frame than that. So if that's the kind of a time frame you're looking out for, then I would suggest BHEL from the 3 of the names that you mentioned.
Okay, but Kunal, what's your take coming in on NMDC? Mohammed Farouk wants to know the short-term target for this particular counter. He's holding this at an average price of 110.
So I think post all the special situation which has happened for NMDC, I would believe that the stock has done reasonably well, but then somehow it's going into a very slow and a gradual kind of an up move. Now today the stock, I think today is just about on the verge of giving golden crossover, where the 50 DMA would cross back about the 200-day moving average. So we can expect that the pace of the rally would improve for NMDC. So if you are already holding the stock price, I would suggest to hold on for at least some more days. We need to see signs that the momentum is picking up. And if that happens, then we can probably look out for a short-term target of 125 to 128 on NMDC.
All right, this next one also coming in for you, Kunal. This one is from Satya, and he wants views on HDFC Life and TCS. He's saying he's purchased HDFC Life at a price of around 563 and TCS at a price of around 2,990. He wants to know about the strategies to be adapted adopted for maximizing profits in these counters?
See, TCS is something which you should look to hold on from long-term play. I would believe that possibly the stock is just getting up for a decent breakout from here on. HDFC Life, I'm a bit perplexed because the last 2 or 3 days the stock has seen a very heightened kind of a momentum, and there is a much higher likely probability that the stock may get into a bit of a corrective phase. So if you can maybe book out profits on HDFC Life and then look to buy back again once the stock corrects towards say 570, 560 kind of a levels, that could be a much better strategy. So it's always better to try and book stocks when they are at their peak in terms of momentum, and then buy them back on marginal periods of correction. So that could be a strategy which you can adopt for HDFC Life.
Okay, but the next question is coming in from Ravi and Kunal. Let me take it once again from you, because Ravi has 2 counters of HDFC Group. One was in HDFC Life and it has almost been a doubler for him. So at these levels, would you suggest him to book profits in this particular counter? And the other one is HDFC AMC at an average price of 1100. Once again, a doubler for him. What's your suggestion coming in on here?
So I think I'm assuming that you are a longer-term investor because you've managed to stay put into both of the HDFC names for the last, I think, 1.5 to 2 years approximately. I would still believe that there should be more room on the upside, say for the next 1 to 2 years. Now, if you're looking at, so for example, the previous major peak for HDFC AMC was 3,500. The stock is at 2,100, which means that even a 1,000-point rally, assuming if it happens in the next 1 year for HDFC AMC, you could be looking at tripling your investments from your cost price of 1,100. And similar would be the percentage gain for HDFC Life as well. So if you have a longer term time horizon, I don't think that you should try and book out your holdings just because you've gained 100% kind of a profit. You should look out to hold on for at least another 1 to 2 years. Okay,
but Kunal, what's your short-term target in that as well? He wants to know on this.
So HDFC Life, as I said, that you can look to book at current levels. From a short-term play, 560 could be again a good entry point. You may look out for dabbling the stock between a range of 600 to 550 approximately. HDFC AMC, I would be a bit more convinced and would look out for maybe 2,300 as an immediate target.
All right, let me take the next one. This one is coming from Madhuri, and Madhuri wants to know if Caplin Point and EKI Energy are fundamentally good counters that she can look to invest in the medium to long term, and also an ideal buy price. Ashish, will you be able to help her with this particular query? Caplin Point and EKI Energy, do you think that these are fundamentally a sound one that one should be invested in for the longer term?
Well, actually, both these stocks I haven't tracked, so I can't reply on that. Sorry.
All right, then Kunal, over to you on this then. Caplin Point, EKI Energy, how are the charts looking and what sort of buy price can Madhuri look at?
So I think both these stocks are very, very average. Caplin Point is, I think, just about hanging around the 200 DMA since the last 4-5 months. Both the 50 DMAs and 200-day moving averages have flattened out significantly, which means it's lacking cues, it's lacking volume participation, as well as it's lacking any kind of a major trend for itself. So I don't see any major reason why you should be looking out to pick this stock. Let the stock at least get into a corrective phase. So maybe if it comes back to 650, 660 mark, a 10% lower from current levels, that could probably determine a better risk reward. And similar would be the case with EKI. I would suggest to not buy the stock at current levels and look to buy them at least at a 10% correction.
Okay, but moving on, Ashish, if you can just help our next viewer on some of the recent listings. Ghosh Dada is holding Bikaji International Foods at a price of 340, and it's the 4th day on the trot that we are seeing the stock moving up, moving above its listing price as well. And Global Health, he's holding 1,200 shares near about the current market price. He wants to know whether he should add more in these particular counters for a longer term perspective. What's your take coming in on this?
Well, he can certainly hold on, as in particular, Bikaji is a very good story going forward. I don't know whether you can add. I don't think you should add more now, but certainly you can hold on. I think the outlook is fairly positive because I think the company is growing very well and has great scope of further penetrating into the market. So I think Bikaji the Foods definitely is a good hold. And not buy at these levels, but yes, if there's any correction in the market and this stock does give you a dip, then yes, look at adding more.
All right. On that, actually, let us slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. We will come back and we will take your queries on the other side as well, so stay tuned, viewers.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep going with the queries section. The next question coming in from RLK Rao from Hyderabad, and Kunal, He has a query on Bajaj Finance. He wants to know whether in the short term the stock is expected to move up or down. But what I can see in the charts is that the stock gave a breakdown at around 7,000 or odd levels and now trying to hold on its 20-day moving average. What's your view on this?
So I believe that the stock would drag a bit more for some more time. I think Bajaj Finance has been a clear disappointment in this last 1 month of the price action. From 7,500, the stock has corrected to 6,700, 720 where it's trading right now. So it means that it's already gone through a 10% correction and is still not able to get into a buying mode for itself. So assuming the market goes into a time-wise correction or consolidation for a couple of more days, there is higher probability that Bajaj Finance can see some bit of more selling pressure. So I would suggest to avoid the stock as of now.
Chandan, I hope your query on Bikaji Foods has been answered, because just before we could hit break, we had Ashish talk about Bikaji Food. Let me go on to the next question then, and this one is coming in from Manoj Kumar. And Kunal, short-term charts for Redington and GSFC, either one of them, how are the charts looking?
So Redington has been one of my recommendations. I think the recent targets which I had given for the stock was, the early targets were 175 and the recent targets which I've upgraded to was 190 for the stock. So I maintain that stance on Redington. And I think if you're looking at a buy, you can look out for maybe 175 as a trailing stop loss and 190 as a target. But your position size has to be a bit more lower than what we were maybe a few weeks back. For GSFC also, I think it could be very similar. The stock has given a strong up move in the last 3 days. Possibly the stock may correct and come back towards 128, 129, 127 levels. So if you're looking to buy, maybe another 2 or 3 rupees down could be a better entry point for GSFC.
Okay, next query coming in from Chitra and Ashish. Let me take it from you. Chitra has Birla Soft 1500 quantity and she entered at the start of this year, and during the year she managed to average out. That's coming in at 309 prices. But what we are seeing in the IT pact is that the large cap names like Infosys and TCS sitting at its 7 months high. So is this a time to go long in the IT space? And specifically, what's your take coming in on Birla Soft?
I think it is the time to go long on IT space. I think this one area in the market which still has a lot of value. It has underperformed, under-owned, and so I really think that it's very safe and a good sector to increase your weightage in. And you are right about large cap. I think that we are expecting now the rally to shift towards mid cap, especially the better managed ones. And Birla Soft certainly is one of them. So I think we are very positive about it. So I would say the investor has identified a good stock, buy at this time and use any dip to add more.
Right, Kaustubh has a query, Kunal, on LIC Housing Finance, 65 shares at a price of 414 rupees per share. Short to medium term view, and can it be averaged at current market price?
Not really. I would suggest an avoid. I think LIC Housing Finance has been a disappointment. So, it makes a lot of sense to switch to stocks which have been performing very well and the ones where there has been a imminent breakout rather than the ones where you are expecting a breakout. Because when you expect a breakout, when the markets are going into a strong momentum zone, that's the point where the markets may keep on doing good for themselves, but your portfolios may not start to get into a recovery phase, and that leads to a testing of a lot of patience. So it makes a lot of sense to not look at stocks which are not in momentum like the likes of LIC Housing Finance, and look out for other names. If I have to recommend few of them, something which I recommended some time back, started the show, BHEL. The stock has already rallied another 2-3%. Post that, I think it still looks very attractive. And if you're looking at a slightly high beta pocket, high beta name, then I would recommend IEX at current levels of 148, 149.
Okay, the next query coming in from TP Vinod, and the question was actually from Kunal. Well, let me take it from Mr. Ashish because it's one of the recent listings. But before we go to that, there's another person asking the query, and that is coming from Manikadan. BHEL is the counter that he is holding, Kunal, but this is actually a call option of 80 rupees at a price of 1.85. He wants to know, can he hold on to this counter?
Well, yes, I think you are in the money by a hefty margin. I think the stock or the call option right now is at 4.3 rupees. So if you can, I don't know how many lots you've bought, But then if you can probably take out your profits or your initial costing and then write down to the profits, that will be a much better strategy. Or else if you're looking to trade, then I believe that you can book the current call option and look to buy maybe an 85 call option. That would be a premium of maybe 1.2, 1.3 rupees for BHEL. That could be a better place that you've booked on your majority of your profits, and then you're playing for another 5 rupees on the upside for the stock.
Kunal, one more actually coming your way. Jay Krishnan had written to us yesterday also on this. I couldn't take it yesterday, but Jay Krishnan from Kerala is asking, please suggest Nifty Bank call option with strike rate for December month expiry.
Tough one. I think I would suggest to wait out, not to buy the stock, buy the call option in a hurry as of now, because the momentum is fading away for the private sector names. That's the only concern. So, and with such low kind of IVs, 12.5, 13 India VIX, it doesn't make sense to buy a call option because the waiting period for you to make a lot of money would be a lot more higher, and that could probably invite a lot of overnight risks as well. So I would suggest not to look at the call option as of now. In case if the Bank Nifty corrects, say by 200, 300 points, then you may look at buying 43,000 call option, or at max, if you're going slightly out of the money, then 43,500 call option could be a good strike for the Bank Nifty.
Okay, let me just add one to these FNO queries. Kunal, Srinivasan is holding Coforge 2 lots of futures at a price of 3,877 rupees. And like Ashish was mentioning, that the IT pack and especially the large caps are showing good move. And Srinivasan is already sitting at good profits. What's your take coming in on this?
See, I think it could be time that you should look to book out profits over here. My belief is that most of these mid-cap IT names, and specifically the likes of Coforge, is still into a range. The stock has to confirm a breakout above the 4,000 mark, which is still some distance away, maybe another percentage point or 1.5% from current levels. So I think it makes a sense to book out profits over here. Let the stock confirm a breakout above the 4,000 mark. That's where momentum would come back again for Coforge.
All right, this next one is coming in from Sudarshan. Kunal, one more for you because this is an FNO query. View on Canara Bank, is it good to sell call option 360 for December series? He's, I believe, asked this question earlier also.
I'm not sure what's the premium for 360 call option, but it will be very, very meager in terms of the current market price for Canara Bank. I think the current market price for the stock is 335, and the 360 call option could be 3 rupees approximately, 3.5 rupees for the option. I would not recommend doing this trade. My belief is that PSU banking stocks are into a big breakout mode. So going contra in such a kind of a rearing momentum on the upside, and specifically with selling of a call option, could be inviting high risk.
Okay, that's the take coming in. But the next question coming from Ratnakar, and Mr. Ashish, he is holding 6,000 shares of Yes Bank at an average price of 15 rupees 80 paisa. Recently, we have seen a good move on majorly all the banking names. What's your view on Yes Bank?
Well, it's certainly one of the cards, and main so. I mean, unless you have a very long-term kind of vision or holding period, maybe 5 years, then I think it's good because it might actually be a great multiplier from here. A reason it will take time is that when the restructuring happened and it was given, the control was handed over to SBI, the capital was increased significantly. Now it has a much bigger capital base than the earlier Yes Bank avatar. And so despite the possible turnaround, which anyway is happening, and I think the signs are very encouraging, it will take a lot of momentum and lot of earnings growth for this stock to start moving up, because it has a much higher capital base than what it had earlier. So in the meantime, I think there are many other smaller bank ideas which you could look at. I mean, you could look at, for example, IDFC First Bank. I think that will be able to deliver returns much quicker than Yes Bank. And even RBL Bank, I think, is a much better idea. I think both these banks would give you returns much faster than Yes Bank. You could also, in the meanwhile, keep adding some Yes Bank, but keep in mind that it will take a long time before it starts moving. So unless you have that kind of patience, it's better to go with RBL or IDFC first.
All right, this next one that I have is coming in from Rajesh Maheshwari, and he's writing to us from Indore. And what he's saying, Kunal, is though most of the fertilizer stocks are showing very bullish trend, however, GNFC is going down. Is it right time to go for it or avoid it?
No, I think it's a good time to start looking at the stock, at least as of now. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the previous 3 days rally, I think this week, the first 3 days for GNFC was very good. The stock recovered from 550 to 625 and now it's come back towards 600. So it's a very good time that, assuming if the stock doesn't break significantly below the 600 mark, so we can maybe add a buffer of another 20 rupees. So 580 could be a buffer if the stock doesn't break this 580 mark, say for the next 2 days, which means it's establishing a strong turnaround point for itself. I would look to consider GNFC at current levels, but maybe wait out for 1 more day or 2 more days. And if the 580 level doesn't get broken on the downside, I think that could probably be a very good risk reward to buy GNFC.
Okay, so those are the levels to track when it comes to GNFC. But all our viewers, it's once again time to slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, सब साथ बढ़े. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now. And the next query, let's go across to that. And it's coming from Velawan from Oman. And Ashish, he wants to know the next 6 or rather 1 year time view on AGS Transact Technologies. He's holding that since IPO at a price of 118. He should average at these particular levels or wait for some more time? Ashish, this question is from you. If you can just help him on AGS Transact Technologies. Okay, I think there's some audio glitch, but Kunal, what's your view coming in on this particular counter?
Well, I think I don't track the stock frankly that often, and it's also an illiquid or a rather less liquid name for itself. Even though in the chart patterns, it's not anything which is extremely exciting. So I'm not sure if you're looking to buy and if you've already bought positions into this, I would suggest to avoid or exit the stock at current levels.
All right, this one is coming in from Narsimha Rao. He's writing to us from Hyderabad and he's asking about Power Mech, Kunal, 50 shares that he's holding at an average price of 970 rupees per share. Now he wants to know whether he should hold on to it for the next 1 year or book partial profits. However, he's a long-term investor as well.
So I think you should hold on as of now. Now, one of the reasons is the stock making a new high for itself. And the manner in which the stock has made a new high, that's the most exciting part, because it's not been a vertical rise for the stock. There have been periods of rally, consolidation, and then a breakout back again for a stock like Power Mech. So even at current levels, the stock is ending a 2-month consolidation and then breaking out. So that's always a comfortable sign. And I think possibly if this momentum is something to go by, then we may look at another 200 points on the upside. So 20 to 50 could be a point where you may look to consider booking out some profits.
Okay, the next question coming in from Professor Thomas George, and Ashish, he wants to have a take on Uno Minda. We are seeing the results improving for this particular counter, but that's not reflecting yet on the stock price. The companies have some capex plans too, and he's holding it from an average price of 545, near about that current market price levels. What's your take on this? Okay, I think we still not can get Ashish on board, but Kunal, any view on Uno Minda?
Well, I would suggest to hold on. I think the stock is just trying to get into a time-wise correction over here. 555 is the range for Uno Minda, plus or minus, I think 2 or 3 percentage points. That also coincides with the 50-day moving average for the stock price. So I would suggest to hold on. Once the momentum comes back and whenever that happens for the stock, you may look out for a break of the previous high, which is just a shy of that 600 mark for the stock. So that could be an immediate target for the stock.
All right, the next one that I have, I believe, I believe that we are yet to connect with Mr. Ashish Kapoor. Okay, I believe we've already connected with him once again. So let me try my luck with this one then, Ashish. Coming to you for this next query, and Raghavi is wanting to know about Globus Spirits. Is it a buy, given the fact and keeping in mind the government's push towards the ethanol theme?
No, Globus Spirits is certainly a good stock to buy, and I think mainly because I think the consumption of alcohol here is rising, and it's a trend which will continue. And Globus Spirits itself has very good established brands, and I think comparatively valuation is also attractive compared to its peers. So I think Globus Spirits is a good idea, and I think it's a very good secular growth story going ahead. So you should buy.
Question coming in from Sandeep, and Kunali wants to know from you whether to go for Grasim or rather Bajaj Finserv for the next 6 months.
I think it'll be a tough one because Grasim seems to be a stock which is looking attractive right now. Bajaj Finserv is getting into a corrective phase, so if you can probably maybe look to buy Grasim at slightly lower levels, that could be a far better bet. My belief is that the stock may probably get into a 3-4-5% correction from here on. That would probably let the stock come back towards its major moving averages. I think that could be a point where you may look to buy Grasim back again.
All right, the next query that I have is coming in from Soumitra, and Soumitra is holding Hindustan Foods from the levels of 110 rupees per share. He's saying that it's grown 6 times, but is it now time to sell this particular counter? Kunal, he wants a fundamental and technical view, but for today, I will just get a technical view.
I think it's a good time where you can look to book out profits over here. My belief is that it makes a lot of sense to now switch to some quality stocks at current levels. So I would suggest a book profit over here.
Okay, the next query coming in from Murli, and let me take it up from you, Ashish. He wants to know the long-term target, or rather the long-term view on Elecon Engineering, because we have seen this particular counter moving up sharply, and even Ace investor Mr. Vijay Kedia is holding a stake in this counter. What's your view on this?
The view is positive. Like generally the capital goods engineering space is coming back after a long period of time, is getting traction, and I think the well-managed ones like Elecon Engineering should do well going forward. So I don't see anything to worry. I think you should hold on. With maybe next 2-3 years, it should trade much higher than where it is right now.
All right, and with that, actually, didn't even realize, but we've come to the end of the query segment and buy now, sell now. We could not take rapid fire today, but yes, do remember, viewers, we did start taking queries right on top of the show today. But thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Ashish, for joining us on the show, for giving our viewers your valuable insights on what should they do with their stocks. And viewers, if we've not answered your queries today, I know it's the end of the week, but yes, next week would be a brand new week and we will continue taking your queries. Remember, buy now, sell now's motto is just that. But for now, we are totally out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Goodbye from Shrishti. I will carry on for Markets at Noon.
I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, Well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
Market rally fizzles out after Nifty Bank and Sensex closed at record high levels on Thursday. Nifty is now almost 150 points away from its life high. Broader markets, however, outperform. Media Realty lends support.
Adani Enterprise board meet today could approve the FPO to raise about 14 to 15,000 odd crore. Remember, the group is looking to expand in the digital business and in the green energy.
HDFC Twins in focus on back of the shareholder meet where they will seek approval for the merger. The big merger is expected to be completed by the third quarter or FY24.
Approval to sell the stake in UTI AMC sends both PAPB, Punjab National Bank and UTI AMC shares soaring on the back of higher volumes. PNB's 15% stake in AMC at the current market price could be valued at 13 to 1400 crores.
The Kirit Parikh committee will submit its final report on gas pricing next week. Exclusive access to the draft report shows that the panel will suggest a cap on domestic prices to fix a fair price for end users. The report will also recommend bringing natural gas under GST ambit. Hello, good afternoon, and you're tuned into ET now, and this is Markets at Noon with me, Cheryl D'Souza. Along with me, I have Pankaj Poddar. And Pankaj, I have to modify my statement to you, because if I say that we've not hit record high, we are taking a breather, you'll say, no, Cheryl.
It's just 1,500 points down. I mean, exactly. How much doesn't matter on the base of 18,000. So that's exactly, what it is. It's an absolutely flat day. There is a slight bit of very marginal negative bias, one can say. But nevertheless, one has to say that it's on the flatter side. Let's welcome in and get our first guest on the show. Swati Anandahotkar is now with us, AVP Equity Technical Analyst at Nirmal Bang. Swati, thanks so much for taking our time for us. Let's start with the market, the strength in the market, the strength in the Indian market. And with the expiry series now going behind, what are the indicators telling you about the December month?
Yeah, good morning, all of you. Definitely, today we are just looking towards the profit booking session. Today is the weekend, and yesterday we have seen a very spectacular rally to the Nifty as well as on the Bank Nifty. So no wonder at the high levels we can witness some profit booking, which cannot be denied as such. But definitely the overall trend or positive trend will remain a positive itself. I believe the profit booking has been witnessed probably in the coming 2 to 3 trading sessions, and Nifty might take a support at around again 18,200 to 18,000 levels. So that will act as a very strong support level and even the base for the market. Once again, if it manages to give the breakout of 18,500 level, I believe it has a potential to reach up to 19,000 to 19,400 levels. If you look towards the overall longer degree, as say the monthly chart, it's very have very good charts on the monthly, we can see that this particular indices is giving a breakout of a trend line, which gives a very strong sign on the technical front. Even if we look towards the Bank Nifty chart also, as per the retracement theory, I believe that it has just touched the fate of a 50% and it's on the verge of trading this rally towards to the 61.8%, which is the golden ratio known in the Fibonacci retracement, and which comes to at around 44,000 levels. So I believe both the indices has been a strong placements on the technical front, but small pullbacks rally can be seen into the market on the downside, but definitely we will see some uptrend will remain intact into the market.
All right. Good morning. Good afternoon to you, Swati. So in this market condition where we are inching towards the record high levels on Nifty, so we had Sensex as well as Nifty Bank scale those levels in yesterday's trading session. But which are the top picks that you're advising our viewers today?
Yeah, looking towards the market, my view is remaining bullish as long as the Nifty and the Bank Nifty sustains above the mentioned support levels. Today I'm coming up with the two buy calls. One will be on a ACC. If you look towards this particular stock on the technical front, ACC is just hovering near its 50 DMA and very well placed on the positive closing basis, and it's as of now it is in a consolidation phase, on the verge of giving the breakout of the consolidation. Once it manages to give a breakout of 2500 levels on the closing basis, this rally is likely to be extended towards 2560 to 2600 levels. So it has a very strong potential to touch the fate of 2600 levels on the higher side. So one can take a long position into the ACC. At the current market price, stop loss can be kept at 2440 for immediate target of 2560. Second buy call I'm initiating in Persistent. This particular counter also looks very strong on the technical setup. On the monthly chart, it has just given the breakout of a downward sloping trend line. Now it's trading in the pattern of the higher tops and higher bottoms, which gives a signal that the stock is leading towards the 4050, 4100 levels on the higher side. So one can take a long position at current market price in the Persistent with a stop loss of 3960 for immediate target of 4050.
The top picks coming in from Swati this afternoon, ACC and Persistent Systems. But let's head across to Times Now Summit, where you have the G South Asia president speaking.
Also, I must say there's a lot of awareness. 10 years back, no one even knew about what a carbon footprint is. But what is it that we're doing right so far?
I think the national level targets and national level policies that have been implemented in the last 10 years probably is by far the biggest contributor to what you said. Awareness, momentum. There have also been in the last couple of years further advanced policies. So we have seen in the last 10 years how it has become easily possible to access green energy, even if you are an industry, even if you are a home. And that is something that has increased the penetration. We will need more of that. We will need more embracing of some of the new technology solutions. And also it's important that sun can shine a few hours, wind can be blowing for a few hours, but how do you make it round the clock, 24 hours, 365 days solution? And there are solutions. There is hybrid architecture that one can provide. There are pumped hydro storage solutions which are much better than the battery storage solutions. Battery storage is still not as cost competitive as pumped hydro storage is. So